Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, more of the same, I guess. Worth talking about off stream. So off stream, I've done a fair bit of work. Basically, redid my rig last night because it just wasn't working. I tried to, do a basic pose of the rig like the other day, like after the stream, and the joint orients were fucked. Like nothing was really working. I think I didn't take enough care when I was building the skeleton and orienting the joints and that. So I redid it yesterday, pretty much, and so it's a new rig. Restarted all the weight paint. So I've got basically everything you see on screen is weight painted to some extent. It's not perfect. I've realised the shoulders are too far out. I have no idea how to fix that. So I'm going to have to kind of speak to some people, I guess, because the joints were placed based on the coat, which let's get that guy up. They're placed based on the coat, which we might get away with it once the coat is part of the rig, but without the coat visible, it just looks weird, like the position of it. So it's not ideal, but we have something basic in place. I just need to continue weight painting. So this is going to be another weight painting stream. This is by no means a good rig, and as I said in the last one, like if you want to learn rigging, I'm not the place. I have no idea what I'm doing. Ultimately, this rig doesn't have to be amazing because like we can get away with it. In this case, the reason I'm not too worried about it is because we're just doing a single pose and we're simulating into place, so a lot of the weird weight painting will be mostly ignored because we're going to be simulating the mesh on top of that. So areas where it stretches out more than it should, the simulation is going to kind of correct for that a little bit. I'm not really too worried about it overall, but if you're doing rigging for a personal project or rigging for a bigger project and you actually want to do animation, spend the time. Like at this point, I'd go back again and try to get the skeleton right because it's worth redoing. But yeah, as I said, in my case, it's not worth redoing. We've got enough kind of like control with this. I actually don't know if this scale works. Let me just try this. Oh, it does, cool. But yeah, so I also get an error every time I do that. What's the error? No idea. I also use the script from online to place a lot of the controls because the control pivots need to be on the joint for it to work properly and oriented the exact same way, so not just in position in the same place, but also have their gimbal rotations be the same. And then I guess the last thing that I haven't done on stream is after finishing this, I finished this rig at like 1 in the morning today. So I kicked off a little render last night, literally just set up a basic lighting just to kind of make something that's a bit more interesting. So we've got this is what I can get out of the rig. Granted, this is about 5 minutes of figuring out what I wanted to do as an image, so it's not the nicest pose. This hand is completely weightless, for example, but you can see how the rig, it does all we need. This is already more deformation than the actual pose will be, so I just thought it'd be nice to like put him by a little campfire or something. But yeah, so I'm gonna kill that and get into Maya, and it's just a case of continuing really. So we've got more layers to add. I've got to add the this mesh to the joints, and I need to add this mesh. Then once I've got those, I can just wrap deform everything else because these will be simulated. So I still don't quite know the pipeline fully. I still don't know what I'm going to do with the scarf. Frankly, I'm terrified of the scarf, but we'll get to that eventually. But yeah, so for now, let's just start weight painting. Oh, I've also downloaded NG skin tools, which are missing. That's good. Let's check our plugin manager. NG. Loaded. No, I need you. Shit. Okay. Can I grab it from another mesh? Windows. No, there's a. I'm gonna try relaunching Maya. Let's save this because I did move some stuff around. Because I do need NG skin tools to work ideally. It is very helpful. Yeah, so how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm looking forward to finishing the rig and pose for this guy, so I can start doing like the final model and final all that stuff. Because once it's posed and simulated into place, I will be continuing to work on the model in that pose. I'll basically just delete the rig out of the scene. Really make sure it's doing exactly what I want. I might need to delete my energy skin tools are still gone. Do I need to reinstall it? Windows, settings, preferences, plugin manager, NG. It is set to autoload. Let me just check that's still there. Can I not copy you? Let me see. NG, skin, tools, shelf, missing. That was a very quick. Where was that? So I'm just going to search for cool, let's try that. Python. Hey, there we go. So let's just create, let's go to custom, and then there we go. Cool. So yeah, I'm using NG Skin Tools just because it's infinitely easy. I did mention it in the previous stream. But yeah, so let's grab you. Is it worth hiding the shirt? I don't think so. Then go to rigging, skin, bind skin. Let's check the settings. GSX voxel. That's all fine by me. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it looks like it's working. I will hide this in the end. Cool, that's not having an effect, that's good. So we do need a little bit of influence of the shoulder on the collar, so we'll add a little bit of that in. So let's just initialize skin layers, and let's have a quick look at this. Paint. Go into mirror, that's already set up, good. Yeah, so we've already had to do some debugging. We are, what, 5 minutes into the stream? 12 minutes, what the fuck? Yeah, so, new layer. Layers, new layer. Collar. Cool. And then all I'm going to do is add, what would be the best way to do this? I think adding some Clavicle Control. So let's just go to left clavicle, flood U, right clavicle, paint U solid on one side. Basically it's going to paint half the model to be affected by one guy, half the model to be affected by another. And then I'll mask it to where I need it. I don't need to go all the way down the model, but I may as well get something in place. Yeah, I've been watching a few videos here or there to kind of at least have some level of understanding of the rigging process, because as I said many times, like, I'm not a rigger. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing. I just like to give it a go sometimes, because you never really learn anything if you're not pushing yourself. So I recommend trying to do stuff that you're not comfortable with from time to time. It'll make you a better artist, in most cases anyway. Sometimes it'll make you better like me. Right, that will do. And then let's just go back to left clavicle, and I'm going to paint a value of 0.5. Paint. There, it's down. I don't like the fact there's not really an intensity. I know it's on replace, but like, you can just use add, I guess, but I prefer for intensity to have controls. Why is this not working? Could not remove weight. Oh, let's just add. There we go. Really don't need to do down there, but it's one of those things where I feel more comfortable having put it there. There we go. And go back to you to make sure you're still. That's about right. Right, so now I just need to go to the mask, and I'm just going to slowly paint in this area. Let's actually set that to right, let's just paint 0.5 in and see how it goes. So let's mirror that over. No? There we go. And that works, does it? So that's not necessarily what I want, right? So I'm going to need to blend it a lot more. So let's go into paint. And what I need to do is smooth you, and then add a little bit more over here. I'm gonna gently push that over there. And just, yeah. I guess this guy I don't want any influence, so let's just paint. Let's paint that out. Set you to 0. Mirror all that over. Now try. It's better. Yeah, the smoothing helps a lot because now it's not like pulling with it the same way. Although something was up with the weight painting on this guy. I think it's the base weights are too high over here. So let's just go back into you. Go to the base weights. And let's go to neck, paint. Now we're going to need to paint 1 up here, aren't I? I'm going to paint 1 into all of the color because I know like this layer on top is going to override it. I just don't want the base layer to have too much influence where it shouldn't. And then I'm going to gently introduce some influence over here. So let's mirror that over. Mirror that over. And then I just need a little bit more on you. That shouldn't be the neck controller, that should be spine free. So again, let's just gently add some influence in there. Mirror. Mirror that. Smooth you. Basically, I want to remove the influence from here entirely. Spine free, paint. So let's just step you all the way up. I'm going to add the collar back in. I just want to make sure that the clavicle isn't affecting here. There we go, that's better. Is that having an effect on the other side? Fuck, alright. Let's fix that then. Paint. So, is it in this guy? Cool, so apparently that's being controlled on the other side. So what I'm going to do is go into my base weights again, set neck. I just need to make sure you're being fully controlled, because I guess the issue here is that that the layer is kind of 50% strength over some broken weights. Mirror. Cool, let's try that. Okay, that's good enough. There's still a little bit of something over here, but let's fix that, I guess. Paint. Nope. Cool, and let's just check these weights. There we go. Mirror that over. That's better. There's still a little bit of something going on, but I'm not too worried about that. It's so tiny. And let's just see how well that follows. I think I need to work on the bottom down here a little bit. There's a little bit of something going weird there. Although overall it's working pretty well. Oh, that needs a bit of smoothing. Paint that. Let's just go down to, is it you that's got the control here? That's pretty weak. There we go. So the whole point right now is to keep it like just basic working. Like I don't need anything fancy here. Yeah, looks like it's working. Cool. So next thing is the coat, if I remember correctly. So let's get the coat mesh visible. Let's get this guy visible as well. I feel like I need more topology in there. Can you add topology? Like literally just insert an edge loop to a rigged mesh, or is that awful? Because I need some more mesh to kind of hold this. Granted, this is, you know, bad shoulder pivot position, the reason for this, but okay, I'm gonna try just adding an edge loop, and this is terrible advice, but well, not advice because I'm not advising it. For the love of God, I'm really not advising it. It's just, I don't know how this will work. I probably need to paint in some influence. Oh, I see this thing. There we go. Is this really about to work? Okay, so let's just paint. I guess I need to flip this to white, right? Oh, is that a crash? Yep, that was a crash. Although I might still be able to add it. It's just like it's getting a bit too distorted in there. I feel like having some more topology will help. Open scene, modeling, Maya, scenes. I don't know if flooding the weight will also crash it. I just realised I need to update the playlist that these streams go to. Because I think the last time I updated the playlist for this stream is like video 5, and we're now on what, 18? 19? Jesus. Is this loading or not? Hey, there we go. Cool. So let's just try adding those loops again. Again, do not recommend ever doing this. Cool. Edit, delete non-deformer history. Cool. And then that in theory is already going to work. Yeah, I just need to smooth out the weights. So let's go into ng skin tools, which is gone again. That's gone again too. Let's run Python. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, is it? Yeah, okay, it's a media class. Alright, so I can't do that unless I re-weight paint it. Which is doable. I mean, I can do. It might be worth doing. So let's... Yeah, I'm going to re-weight paint that. So I'll detach it from the rig and then reattach it. So... open you up. Come on. There we go. Color management. Yeah, sure, I know. I still don't know which texture that is. Right, so delete the history off this guy. Find him in here. Modify the mesh how I want to now. Is there anywhere else I need more topology? Oh. Edit edge flow. And ideally it should have more in the back, right? Let's just get a bit more in there. And having this crease doesn't help anyone. And then I guess while we're at it, let's just grab all these guys. Cool. Then go to, where are you? Average red, so you are. Cool. And this is pretty awful as well. Yeah, may as well. Edit edge flow. And yes, I know the arms are now more dense than they should be, just along the middle, which is also awful, but I don't think I really have a choice about that. Can we just make circular? And that evens it out a bit too. I mean, I guess it can work. Yeah, it's not worth doing. I'll just deal with having those loops at the front be a bit low. let's just uniform that out a bit. What? Edge flow. Uniform these guys out. The topology on these guys isn't that important. I just want it to be as easy to weight paint as possible, because I suck at weight painting, so I may as well make my life easier. Edit edge flow on you. Does that mean that these will play a bit nicer? Can I just pull these down and forward? And then I guess grab you, grab you. Oh, not like that. Alright, that's too far over that way. And yes, I know this is amateurish right now. Trust me, I'm well aware. That shoulder though. So worth just making this mesh again. Yeah, fuck it. Alright, I'll start with a shirt mesh. Let's just put you into a template layer. It's worth doing properly. All that jazz. Duplicate you. Let's call it temp, because I will be renaming it. And let's just grab, go into topology symmetry. Oh, I'm gonna have to hide the shirt as well. Don't know why these are locked. Oh, well, that'd be because I, cool. So, hide you, select you, delete the collar for hopefully obvious reasons. Go into topology symmetry, and just create an arm from here, I guess. How big of an area do we need? Beautiful. Okay, let's just move it. Let's circularize these guys. Up there, flatten it based on come on, flatten it based on that axis. Cool. And then to make things easier, what I like to do is insert a loop right there and then pull it back, and the reason I do that is because that will keep the circular shape then. So I can just scale this vaguely into position. Set you to What's going on with you? Are you broken because we're in topology symmetry? The fuck? That's weird. Okay, let's go back into symmetry. Go to you, topology symmetry. You're about there. At least on that front view. So I guess we should check the coat. Oh wait, there's the shoulder. Fuck. I was really far off, wasn't I? So there's the shoulder loop. So then, oh Jesus, that's really far off. Edit edge flow. I guess we're best off going into the sculpt tool to fix this, because that's really weird topology right there. Can just merge that, I guess. So let's, if we collapse these, I think that will work. Hey, there we go. It's not as weird now. Cool, so let's go and edit edge flow. And just run a quick smooth. So I'm just going to go into the sculpt tools, sculpting, use the relax topology, just do that over here. Oh, that's not in symmetry. Now it's in symmetry. It does have the weirdest bugs sometimes. There we go. So then all I need to do to make this work in my head is do that, and then subdivide the fuck out of this guy. Granted, these polygons are going to be weird, but now I can just go through and I swear I will get this right eventually. I'm just proving my incompetence right now. It's kind of fun. Today is one of those kind of work days where nothing quite goes the way I want it to. Which they're fine to happen from time to time. As long as they're not every day, then it's fun. There we go. So if we, I guess we should technically make this the correct width then, shouldn't we? So let's just grab all this stuff. Oh, so are you. Now grab all this stuff. I don't know why that pivot keeps getting stuck. So I don't want it to be fat. I just want it to be the correct proportions for the coat sim anyway. So let's show the coat. That's better. The shoulder's still going to feel completely weird, but Say to topology. Cool. And then that works. So let's just quickly grab these guys. Set this to linear fall off. Soft select, linear. There we go. It's gonna be like the bulkiest kid. There we go. Actually, that feels a lot better. So now that joint position, it's still wrong, but it won't feel as wrong because proportions are a little bit better. There's probably a way to move them, like the joint positions, once it's rigged. But the problem is then I don't know how to get the controls back in the right place. And again, like, it's just for a pose, so I'm not too worried about it. Cool, so I guess the last thing to do is to super quickly smooth. If I can remember which one is smooth, that's level, oh, that's the one. Just go into the grab tool and just fix this bit back here. Because again, this is like the mesh that all of our clothes will sim with in some way, so it does need to be, you know, roughly the right volume. Cool. So we'll be using constraints to help the trousers, because I'm not doing full legs. That will do though. Definitely weird as fuck proportions, but it's below the coat. So now we should get it bound. So I'm just gonna rename this, so that's the original mesh. I can delete that boy. And then let's just quickly fill the holes. Fill hole. Just because I don't want the mesh that everything's simming on to have gaps straight through it. Pinched. This is sort of stuff that's easy to fix now, so let's fix it now. Edit edge flow. Extrude. Turn off symmetry. I do wish there was a way to set the pivot to ignore symmetry sometimes. Like if the faces are connected, maybe it should just take the average position. Let's just make the look a bit bigger. And yeah, the reason I'm adding all this stuff in here is because I want the, oh, what's the word? I want the sim to not get stuck on any like thin faces, because that can happen quite easily. So let's take that to, nope, let's take that to vertices. And then average verts. And then just edit edge flow on this guy. There we go, we got a basic mesh there. Do the same down here. Fill hole. Let's turn on topology symmetry, which I'm not sure will work right now. Mesh is not symmetrical. If I delete that guy, that should probably be symmetrical now, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's just do that. Fill hole. Cool, works now. Oh, of course, because it didn't have the information it needed. So I have no idea if this will actually be correct or not. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I need to go across 2 more times, Jesus. Oh well. Maybe let's take you. No, because I need to get rid of this guy, don't I? Alright, yeah. Let's just go straight across. Grab all these guys. Extrude, scale, reset. The vertices. Average verts can like make awful topology look okay. How is that not? Why would that be the path I want to take? Either way, so it's actually got a thickness to it now. Still, I'm kind of concerned by that behavior. Cool. Modify, set to face, modify, soften edge. There's our collision mesh. Body underscore body collision geo. So now we can attach that to the rig. Thanks to whoever just likes the video, much appreciated. Who's watching right now, if you don't mind me asking? Because the usual people kind of announce themselves when they join. So I imagine it's 3 people who don't normally watch or normally kind of lurk. If you want to continue lurking, that's fine. But I like to say hello, meet the people who are watching. Right, okay, so let's go to bind skin. Let's just see how it did by default. Not awful, not great, but works. There's a little bit of cleanup that needs to happen on the back and on the lower arm under here. This needs to be fixed because it's a bit funky. So let's just go into this guy. Again, need to create this Python again because it just won't save it. And I'm going to go into, there it is. Let's go into, there it is. Because it's not even there this time. Cool. Close that. Save you. Initialize scaling layers. Blah 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 blah. Going to mirror. LNR, good. So where I need to fix, and let's fix the back first because that's the easiest one to fix. So all we need to do is find spine 2, which is you. I'm going to try to mirror that. Mirror you. So one thing I'm curious about is if the weight paint tool only smooths using the influence that you're painting. Because, well, at least NG Skin Tool's version. Because that'd be really cool if it does, but it'd also be kind of irritating. Let's go to Clavicle, smooth you out a little bit. It's working. Go back to spine 2. Error. 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 And then That's not as bad this time. Let's just go to, okay, so if we paint that in a tiny bit. Alright. Okay, so that pulls it down to there. Yeah, G-Skin Tools makes it a lot easier. This is by no means a perfect rig, but let's go into Clavicle, smooth hue slightly. So what I want to check now is, does that move really weirdly now? I mean, that's not how the shoulder rotates, so I don't care about that looking too odd. Although I think I want the clavicle to have more influence up here, so let's just go into paint, left clavicle. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more influence there. Mirror. Mirror. Cool. Let's check you. So I want a little bit less influence in the middle of the body, and I do want the clavicle to have less influence down here. So that means spine 3 needs to have more effect. Let's go spine 3, paint. Just slightly push that in, mirror that over. I have no idea how badly this is going to be falling out over angles. So we're getting a bit of a thing there. So let's just go into left clavicle. Oh, so that's not what I want, that's the opposite of what I want actually. What does left shoulder do? Left shoulder pulls that in, alright. So let's just step that in slightly. I want less influence in you, so I guess you need to go to left clavicle a little bit. I'm going to set this to add. I'm going to try using these, set this to add, and set this to be a really tiny, yeah, it is a really tiny value. Maybe this will be easier. Mirror all that over. I mean, I literally will never be going to these poses, but I guess one of the issues as well is I'm twisting the shoulder, but I don't have twist joints, because really for this sort of stuff you should have twist joints, which kind of allow you to distribute the twisting along the whole length of it without having to paint like a ridiculous gradient. In fact, let's see if that'll work. Let's go right shoulder. No, because that won't work. Fuck. Yeah, that will then, yeah, so you do need twist joints. I don't think there's a way to weight paint out. That though works well enough for what I need. How do the shoes work? I do still need to add controls for the shoes. So I need the ankle to have a little bit more control over here. Part of me wants to give the hat some controls, but it's completely pointless to do so. I also kind of want to switch the arms to IK, but really not too sure on doing that, to be honest. Beautiful workout. Should that lean over more? I think that should lean over more. Is anything going weird? That's super weird. And it makes sense, but it's super fucking weird. Right, okay, so shirt, let's make you visible, see if there's any skating going on. Or sliding, I guess. Is anything going weird back here? And the weight paints are similar enough for it to not matter. And this stuff back here is working just fine, yeah. Yeah, so we can start getting our coat on. And then we can think about doing cloth sim. Maybe today, maybe not today, because I need to get all the wrap deformers working for the other stuff. Which is an insane sequence of things to do, so let's just go to skin, find skin. Let's just see if that works. Oh god, that breaks so badly. Oh yeah, shit, because the distance is now different from everything, so the weight paints are going to struggle even more. Wait, does my temp mesh have the, oh, why is that still? That's the collision mesh, so that shouldn't be there. Sorry, I didn't realise I forgot to delete that. Delete the history on that guy, and delete these, because they get in the way of everything. They straight up prevent it from working properly. At least for the purpose I'm having it for. And then just grab both of these guys. Is that the one? That is the one. Inflate them out to be roughly the original size. Cool. So, yeah. Skin, find skin. Initialize skinning layers, and let's just have a quick look at what you're doing. Just mirror everything. So, yeah, spine's barely having any effect. So let's just go to one of these poses and start fixing this. So spine 3 is what I want to control this area, I think. Yeah, it is. Let's just paint this in and mirror it immediately. And smooth that out. Where should that go to? So I do want that to stretch a bit, just not as much as it currently does. Mirror that. There you. Hello.
I have a smelly face.
There was a smelly face.
Oh, face mask.
Oh, you're wearing a face mask. That face mask smells amazing.
It's
I really like it.
sleepy.
I kind of want to put some on now, but streaming.
Can we do it after?
Might do. Face mask night. That's always a good night. Oh wait, that was spine 3. I was painting the wrong thing. No. Okay. I'll pay for my sins later. Anyway, so this is going to look awful. Yep, there we go. So let's paint you in. So I don't want that up there. I think the smoothing of weights actually goes across different joints, which is good. It's not just blending the influence of the current joint. It's actually blending the influence of other joints that have nothing to do with this one. Just mirror that. If any viewers are watching, I'm sorry for what I'm doing is sacrilege. God, this stretch is awful. Granted, this is like the worst possible pose, but still, it's not an excuse. Even though I did just use it as an excuse. Spine one. God, these faces are getting fucked. Should undo all the stuff I was just doing. Is there a way to prevent this? I mean, again, simulation's going to take care of a lot of this, but I don't just want to be like, oh yeah, sim will handle it. Because that's the equivalent of fixing comp, and I don't want to be one of those guys. What if we just run a relax? How's this gonna... That might work well enough for a simulation. Like, just have a bit as a base. See, I kind of want the hips to take a bit more control over this. Let's just save my history. Go to hips. Paint. I'm just going to add a little bit more control over this. Mirror. Smooth like fuck. Mirror again. That's a bit better. Feels like it's being like kind of kicked out of the way now rather than bending quite so gently. What happens if I set the weight more back here? So this would now mean if the legs went backwards, this is going to get really confused. But the legs are never going to go backwards, so... Smooth that out. Mirror. Let's try that. Mirror that out. Go to left hip, a little bit more influence there. Smooth, smooth. The hip's getting a bit confused there, isn't it? I think I need to smooth that in a little bit more. So let's just super gently add this over here, smooth it out, mirror. I guess we do just need to add a little bit back here, don't we? Mirror. Mirror. go. Well, it works. Show none, show polygons. So, if I add a subdivision to this, because that's been done after the scan cluster, right? So let's go into node editor. Yeah, so that's the skin cluster, then it smooths it, and then that's the final shape. Play smooth, coat, sim, quality. Now I can just go into the history of this guy, set divisions to 0, and that's the same as that. And I just need to remember to set it to 0 all the time when I'm not working on sims. But yeah, this just drives now the quality of the simulation that I'm doing. It runs surprisingly real time. So set divisions to 0, and then I'm going to save that. So now, can I do this? Skin, no, not skin, effects, encloth, create encloth, create a deformer, no, sorry, a collider out of U, encloth, passive collider, encloth, passive collider. Beautiful. Okay, we need a few more substeps. Weirdly enough, it's made like a spiral galaxy type shape, which I kind of dig. Okay, so he's moving really quick. So let's set that to make sure it's play every frame. Max real time, good, although it'll never reach that. Let's check encloth shape. Somewhere in here will be input mesh attraction. No idea where though. Dynamic properties maybe. Input mesh attract, there we go. If I set that to 1, in theory this is, yeah, pretty much the same as sim being turned off, it's just simulating as much as it can. This is now basically a crease generator. I am going to change that input mesh attract though. Okay. So then go.
Sounds really crazy.
What?
So Northern Ireland's averaging about 1 person dying a day currently from coronavirus, right?
Right.
And 30 from suicide.
Fuck. And nothing's changed
And
in terms of how.
changed. It has increased. We have the highest rate of suicide in the UK.
That's not good.
Basically, sorry, I'm listening to the executive update. Big Arlene Foster getting grilled.
So now what I need to do is create a map or weight map for the simulation, so that I can have some areas stick to the original mesh and some areas not stick to the original mesh. I also need a lot more substeps because that's really bad. So let's go into our nucleus, and somewhere in here is substeps. Encloth shape. No, it's not an encloth. Is it an encloth? Where is substeps? There it is. So let's go 10 substeps, which makes it a lot slower, but it means it's less likely to skip through the arm. So obviously the speed of the animation is also gonna break things a bit. This is purely a test though, to be honest. Like, I'm not actually planning right now on setting up the simulation. I mean, it's kind of a good thing. Look at this thing. I mean, it works. I just need to slow the sim down. I'm curious, if I add like ridiculous numbers of substeps, what happens? Let's go to like 30 substeps, which is a lot as far as I'm aware. And let's turn down. Let's go to that enclosed shape and turn down the input mesh attract. So now it's more of a loose guide than anything. Let's prevent it from getting too far away from the input mesh. I'd also need to reduce the stretch of the sim and add some pins as well. Yeah, we definitely need to Hey Becca.
Is it?
What?
Well, I think we were saying hey Becca from someone else.
No. I said hey Becca, as in you.
It is I.
Look at this.
What do you do?
That's his coat.
What is going on?
Basically, obviously, like my workout animation, just to test the rig, I didn't animate it to real world speed.
Oh.
So he just did like 5 different maneuvers in like just shy of 3 seconds.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is nobody on your stream?
There's 3 people and all of them are silent. One person has liked the stream though. Oh, and there you are. Alright, so let's open the scene before I start doing all that sim shit. About there. Cool. And was that before, after we added, it was this. Okay, so can I just edit, delete non-deformer history? Delete all, delete by type, non-deformer history. Yeah, there we go, cool. So now I can start wrap deforming the actual clothes, although the scarf, I still don't know how I'm gonna do this. The scarf. Oh shit, okay, so what's in group 1? Whatever's original. Oh, that's the one I can delete. Then that's on the light group, then that's my rig group. Put that here. Let's no, that's fine. Let's just set this to chart kid. Show all. Cool. So how does it play at real speed? So let's set it to playback speed, real time. So that's the real speed of it, which is way too quick. But that's not an issue for right now. So we have the clothing. So let's start wrap deforming stuff. So let's go, I think it's that way around. Go to rigging, constrain. Oh no, it's wrap deform. Cool, there we go. wrap deformer is working. And because the polygons are almost in exactly the same places, wrap deformers work just fine. So that's that guy. Shirt, I can wrap deform to you. Deform, wrap deform, hide you. Cool. Hey Yoga, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Hide you. Oh, show the pants. Next one is the tie, which we just wrap deform to the final shirt. Deform, wrap deform. That's the body closure mesh. Don't need to worry about that. Cool. Next one is the coat, I believe. No, it's scarf. Ignore you. Fuck you. Grab the coat. Grab you. Deform, wrap, deform. Hide you. And then final thing is to wrap deform the buttons to you. Deform, wrap deform. Oh, and we have one more to do, which is the shoelaces to the shoes. Deform, wrap deform. Deform, wrap deform. We have a character rigged. So that's some meshes hidden. This is all the final meshes. Performance seems okay. It's obviously clipping through a bit there, but simulation will take care of that stuff. What's going on there? Oh, that's just a crease, okay. And then let's just set this to show. In fact, we can just hide the skeleton and stuff, right? Hide these guys. It's by no means a perfect rig, but it works. So I'm gonna save this guy, and I need to make sure I break the habit of deleting history, because I'd be fucked if I delete the history now. Like everything would break. So let's start showing the scene. We've got the box, we've got the monster, we've got the environment, and we've got the glass, which is invisible because transmission, I guess. Is that a very mild amount of diffuse? No, okay. I guess the best thing to do is to assign blend to the surface material. Cool. Drag you into the blend glass proxy map. And then just grab you, street. And then I need to do the same for the water. Although the water, I guess it doesn't matter as much. I still need to texture all this. I still need to model a lot for the environment. I guess now is the time to delete the history on this, right? So let's close all this stuff. Not delete history, delete the animation. Delete. So now I can scrub through, that's all fine. Grab every control and just place a keyframe right on the first frame. In fact, now is when I need to start setting the frame ranges. So let's set you to 1001. Set you to 1100. Cool. Then this should go back to 970, and you should go to, I don't need to go further than you. So now I've got space for a pre-roll if I want it, and space to not have a pre-roll if I don't want it. So what I'm going to do is just all the way back at 970, gonna keyframe all these guys, and the reason I'm keyframing it back at like 970 is because I can then, animate to, pose to whatever frame I want, and yeah, forgetting the word that I'm looking for right now, but you get the idea. Cool. And then we don't need to control the global. Keyframe all those. Then set you to frame 1001. Keyframe them again. Cool. So now we can just pose it, I guess. I'm going to need to get my reference up for this. Load recent, although it's barely recent. Get you there, close you, save my scene again, close the outliner, so first thing, let's make it so we can't select any polygons, so literally all we can select is the rig. And I'm going to start getting him in position. So I think the box needs to go back, which I'm immediately going to need to select polygons for, annoyingly. Close all that. Let's go to the box group. So we'll take that back a little bit. Cool. Let's just start posing him. So I'm going to need him to lean slightly backwards. This is where having IK arms would be really helpful, so I'm going to ignore the arms for a little bit. I need to rotate you out, like that way. Put you forward. In fact, I need the leg to go back as well. Strictly speaking, I should have a toe control as well. I should have more influence of the ankle here as well. But let's just see if I can get an okay pose with just this stuff, or if I need to actually go back and tweak the rig. Cool. Then the clavicles need to come down because he's carrying something, so naturally he's not going to have like his whole body kind of relaxed. They should be tilted forward as well. Oh yeah, I forgot. Orientation. I never figured out how to get the orientation for that joint to be the way that I want it to be, so I wanted it so that I can rotate both of these clavicles towards each other with the same rotation, but I can't, for whatever reason, figure it out. Let's do that. Oh, does he need to be falling over to the side slightly? Yeah, he does. He needs to be tilting this way. So let's grab these three. Does he need to go down more? Have I made it so that he actually can't fit around this box? Yeah, having an IK hand would be really helpful right now. I know that his hand is actually over here. You can just about make it out below there, but that's a very weightless pose. This arm is too straight as well. My reasoning for putting a hand up here is he's leaning that way quite a lot, so maybe his back leg is taking all the weight right now. Like maybe he's in the middle of adjusting, like when you're carrying something for a long time you want to give one hand a break. That's kind of my thinking. I do kind of need to shift this box up a tiny bit because it is actually sitting a lot higher. I've just realised as well the scarf. Fuck, I actually forgot about the scarf. I'll ignore that for a bit. I'll have to cram the scarf in. So let's just grab that box, move it up slightly to make it a bit easier. Maybe move it forward as well so there's a little bit more space. Cool. Straighten that out a little bit. Curl you in some more. Curl you in some more. Fit in there a little bit. Let's also just pivot him. I can't actually remember which way up the thumbs are. That sounds like a dumb statement, but I really do mean it. I can't remember what axes these are on. Granted, that's being pushed against this right now. In fact, actually, what am I doing? I need to push this back. There you go. So he's not reaching the front of the box like he was on this. I'm about to fuck this whole thing up by turning the body. Clavicles are a great bone for compensating for that. And then you in there. There's no weight in this pose. Let's just quickly try as well. I need to... what do I need to do for the scarf? Because I can't just avoid it. I do need to have this kind of pressed against. Let me check. So it's going to try kid, clothing, scarf, show you. And if I just... Should I literally just skin it to the bones for a moment? And just see like what default weight painting does. Rig. Show the skeleton. I guess I can select polygons. Skin. Bind skin. What joints it attached to? Didn't get assigned to any joints. Okay, let's go to node editor, check out what you're doing. Don't know why you're in there. I tried the human IK, it didn't really get to do what I wanted. So let's try that. Skin, find skin. Nope, still not working. Delete you. I'm going to change from geodesic geodesic voxel. I'm going to change from that to something else. Closest distance. Closest distance never fails. Of course it does break a bit. So let's temporarily hide everything bar the kid. Tune the box as well. I'm going to need to blur the fuck out of this because it gets torn apart. So let's try to relax, relax, relax. Let's set you to high, or the highest value. How long can I relax weight paints for? I do really like NG skin tools. It is a beautiful tool, look at that. Granted, this is not how you're supposed to do it. Telf, I recognise that name. How you doing, man? Try going to frame. Yeah, that still breaks. And why it breaks so suddenly? Is it because I've got keyframes on it? Oh, that's weird. So it like temporarily doesn't know what to do. Oh, it's working now. Cool, so let's make the box visible again. I may need to add IK controls for the arms. So, let me just search heavy lift. Box. that is not a heavy lift. I'm wondering if I can find. The main thing is leaning backwards, which literally none of the drawing does not do in the slightest. But then the drawing isn't exactly the weightiest feeling thing. Although he's slouched that way, but his knee's supporting it, so that makes sense. Delete that. Augment crunch time in studio, so enjoying the free time I have tonight. Oh, nice. I don't know why you're using it to watch this. But
he's actually here for me.
He's actually here for you. That makes sense.
Duh.
Duh. So how about we, because I need to leave room for the scarf, so how about we do have him lean forward a lot and just have the shoulders do that. And then I'm going to need to rotate you that way a bit. Would it make more sense for his arm to like be reaching up for the top? Okay, do we have any quite large boxes in this house? I guess my computer box is the biggest thing we got that would be close to this size, right?
Yeah, hopefully not.
I'm not getting that out just to take a fucking reference picture. I think that might be a good spot. Actually, just see his hand kind of sneaking out. Although now his body position doesn't make much sense, so let's just do that. Let's straighten that leg out a bit. Oh. I actually need his head to be looking straight on. Oh, I've just realised I'm doing all these pose adjustments on the wrong frame. Okay, select all the controls, keyframe, go back to 1001. But I can use these in comparison. Yeah, let's continue on this frame. So this isn't supposed to be animation. This is literally just kind of figuring out a pose. I need to relax the rig a little bit in here. His shoulders feel too relaxed, that's what it is. And do need his shoulders to be up. That's stopping it from feeling weighty. As much as you'd think, oh, it's being pulled down, I don't think that's quite how it's going to work. So let's just set you to 0. Then rotate you back and down. Oh, wait. There you go. So it's kind of up and forward. So the arm's going to struggle to reach a bit better now, but let's try doing a quick render of that. Move that off screen. There we go. So let's just see how our render goes. Obviously we're missing hair, but than I can. I'll render view. Let that do its thing for a moment. How weightless will this feel? That is what we're about to find out. The head needs to rotate slightly. I know that much. His shoulder needs to be closer to the box. I'm trying too hard to give. Oh shit! I'm trying too hard to give the scarf space. I need to not do that. Like if it intersects, so be it. But I'm trying too hard right now. Also, the silhouette needs to be smoothed a little bit because this is too much of an arch. This is quite straight, and that's one of the reasons it looks appealing. So that should just be a case of pulling the shoulder forward, which would help actually get this arch here as well. Okay, so let's kill that before it even starts. In fact, I actually think that's not updating for a reason. Let's try that. Oh wait, my light group's not visible. That'll be why. That's great. Show my light group. There we go. Something's broken. And for some reason my color space keeps breaking as well. It's easy enough to fix, it's literally a case of turning it on and off. That's literally all it is, but I don't know why it keeps breaking to begin with. Oh hello. When was the last time I saved? Guess we're not going to find out. If you're going to crash, do it quickly. Come on. Might have to kill it manually. Processors Maya. We're using 30 gig of RAM right now. Something's gone wrong. Maya. Right, so kill that. So file open. So when was my last save? 20 minutes ago. Alright, so I would have missed a few poses. And probably the scarf as well. That's easy enough. We just had to relax it a shit ton of times. Oh, we missed all of posing. Right, okay. Somewhere along the line. Oh no, yeah, so we didn't pose it. Annoying. So I'll ignore the scarf for a bit, get into pose. Let's just... oh, that means the box is in the wrong place as well now. Right. Let's get the box in place. Guess we should rotate it slightly that way, and slightly less that way. And move it up too. We can always move the monster up as well. In fact, no, we're going to be lowering the hips, so let's leave that there. Cool. So we've got keyframe placed. So let's start getting you aiming backwards. Oh, let's get the foot positions first. And then we'll be having to get rid of the grass wherever his feet stand. So actually, lowering him might not be the way to go. No, that's off the ground. Just crouch it down slightly. Didn't add toe rolls, so I'm going to have to model that in manually. Cool. Happy with those foot positions? I think so. Move that off to that side slightly. Cool. Then grab you, tilt you backwards. And then grab all of these guys and tilt them forward. But actually, cool, I avoided those somehow. Cool. Oh yeah, I had him moved over slightly, didn't I? Like leaning that side. Just gonna break the elbow slightly. Move it over there. Leg is not overly weight bearing, and you are being broken, so let's move you down just until that works. Let's zero out those rotations. Don't want to break his leg. Do that. And I'm just going to straighten up his head a little bit. Cool. I'm ignoring this arm for a little while, just while I get everything else in place. I think this leg is a bit too bent. So do I need to kind of lift that up slightly? No. Do I need to pull him out slightly? Ideally without a clipping through it. No, because that's weird. It's a bit better. Cool, so let's start getting this shoulder in place, roll that forward, tilt it back slightly, tilt it up, tilt you down, tilt you that way, tilt you that way. Break the elbow slightly. In fact, let's undo that elbow break. Try to do it properly. There we go. I don't want to be one of those people who animates really badly with a rig and then blames the rig. There's many of those. I don't want to add to the numbers. I don't know, infinite respect for fucking riggers and animators. It is not a job for me. I don't want to have him like no, that makes no sense. Okay, so have these guys straighten them back up. That helps a lot. Kind of want to move them to the side, but shouldn't do that. Legs are weird looking. Should I commit to the angle he had it at? Move this forward a bit. Feels like it's gonna fall over. Missed one of the joint. Was it you? I undo past that point. Oh, can't. Okay. That's frustrating. we go. My right screen is slowly filling up with so much shit. It's just every time I do something, this is expanding. It's like one of those space elevators. It's kind of great. So let's get you in place. Slightly more up, something like that will do, and then level the wrist out so it feels like he's got some weight. Pull that back a little bit, and then that feels like it's going to fall forward, so let's put the arm further forward. So little finger's not exactly a load bearing finger, so don't need that to be too straight. I'm gonna twist those slightly. Bend that one slightly. I need to smooth those weights a little bit, that's a little bit intense. Let's break the thumb back a little bit. So it's like kind of painful, but he's a little puppet. I'm not too worried about his thumb being in a little bit of pain. That's better. Head angle doesn't feel right. He's looking too far away from this guy. He's also tilting his head. Again, the reference is super strange. Do you need to come up and back? You might. Okay, I know I'm on the wrong frame, but that's besides the point. Let's just do this as a test pose. You okay?
My ears really sore.
Oh really?
Can you quickly have a look?
Sure, give me a moment. Yeah, I'll check that out in a moment. One sec, guys.
You good? Let's charge this more much better.
I think I had it over here. There it is. Don't think anything will happen, to be honest. more hole than anything else, I think. Just leave it alone.
There's a hole.
Yeah, it's like digging in. Just leave it alone for a bit. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Right, so.
How did you model your scarf?
How did I model it? It was in Marvelous.
Oh.
Alright, so do I prefer this pose or that pose? That one makes more sense to me. Alright, so select all of these, keyframe there, delete you, and then cool. So save my scene. And let's just see how that looks through render cam this time. And hopefully this time it actually works. I'm gonna hide my sim meshes because I'm pretty sure I can hide that. Should still evaluate it. Granted, actually, if it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to see it in the scene. So, go to show camera group. Put his head as a focal point. I need to get the scarf working soon, but we can ignore that for a little bit. This leg's not working for me. So just slide that forward. Oh, let's go to the correct frame. Slide that forward. There we go. Kind of want to tilt it up just slightly, as if he's about to take a step. That head angle still isn't right. Oh, I'm on the wrong frame. Oh shit. Delete you. Wait, what? Sorry, let's just clear this up, whatever's going on. Copy. Paste. Cool, nothing's changed in there. Now I can delete you. So let's give that a go. Make sure my light group is visible, because I forgot to do that last time. And then I'm going to, just because I assume it's going to break again. In fact, no, let's not assume it's going to break again. Let's give it some faith. I'm assuming my color spaces are broken again. Yeah, they're broken. As are some of the meshes for some reason. So let's go into our preferences. Go to color management, turn enable color management off, then turn it back on, and then this should brighten up when this is finished loading. There you go. So now we need to figure out why the meshes aren't rendering. Do they inherit what they're wrap deforming from? Because they're set to not be primary visible. Just go into here, render stats. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, so do you have all the correct render stats? Yeah, so you work. Okay, so for whatever reason, this guy. What do you do? Okay, so this one just it loses its everything basically. Okay, so it's everything other than holdout, right? Yeah, I thought so. Go to the shirt. I don't know why it's not happening to these guys. Cool. So that's that. Looking forward to starting the groom pretty soon. So the focus point should be on this guy. Oh wait, when did you get disconnected? Okay, that's weird. And a crash. That's weird. I wonder why it wasn't in focus. Somewhere along the line, the connection to this camera got disconnected. Like from the focal distance thing I've got set up. End task. Cool. Close you. Okay, well at least it was only a minute ago. So we haven't lost any of the scene stuff. At least I hope not. Yes, I know, color management, blah, 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 blah. I need to track down all the meshes that aren't working. All the textures that aren't working. Right, so I don't know when it happened, but these two are very disconnected. Cool. So what are you trying to? Parent, child, then go to constrain, some rigging. Cool, so now when I move this camera, that changes. Cool. Don't know how that ever got disconnected, but there we go. And render cam, hopefully I don't have to fix the other stuff again, but we'll find out in a moment. So, let's get you open. Render update full scene. I'm guessing color management would have broken again. Yes, it has. It's probably because of the textures in my scene that aren't using it correctly. Because I've not set every texture in the scene to actually use it. So, settings, preferences, color management, enable, there we go. There we go. So we're going to have to sim the curtains being blown open by the monster. We're going to have to sim the... Well, do we want them to be blown open or just kind of resting open? I need to get the scarf in there. Looks like it's working now, generally speaking. So, let's go back to the first frame, close you, hide everything bar the kid. Well, I don't really need to hide the environment. Cool. Go to char kid, make the scarf visible, make the skeleton visible in the rig group. Grab you, skin, bind skin, based on closest distance, because geodesic is, what is it? Is it geodesic? I think. Geodesic voxel. Bind that. Then go into, of course, I'm guessing that I don't have the command anymore. I do not. Alright, let me just get that command back. Cool, relax, set you to maximum, and then I can just hit relax. And let's just go to frame 1001. And just relax this as many times as is needed. It looks like it's starting to, it's losing volume and stuff, which isn't ideal. But we will be simming it, so I don't know how I'm going to sim it or when I'm going to sim it, but I'm going to sim it. There we go. So show the monster in the box. Hide the skeleton again. Are you watching the interrogation YouTube channel thing? Yeah, it's really good. What's up?
I'm trying to get rid of the wireframe. Like, you see the blue wireframe that comes up in Maya sometimes?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna kick off this render and I'll come and have a look. One sec, guys. Which one? Oh, it's because you got the object press with 2. So press 3 or 1. There you go. Basically, 2 is it shows the wireframe of the object, and the wireframe of the object unsmoothed and the smoothed result, which is sometimes helpful, most of the time not. But yeah, that's cool. Simple shape, but it's appealing. Right. Right. What do I want to do? I can start doing simulation pretty soon once I'm happy with the pose, or I can start grooming. And I don't know which. Oh, the shoes aren't visible. Huh. Okay, let's make the shoes visible. So we need to grab view, render stats, everything except holdout, and then same with the other one. There we go. So we're going to need to move the body a little bit of the monster, just at the bottom. Just have it come out the middle of the box. We're going to need to, okay, let's make a checklist in out loud for now. So what's left to do? We need to obviously do the entire environment. We need to build the two main rooms, the one for the monster and the one for the head of the character. At some point we'll need to do the fabric rooms to really sell the miniature feel. We need to sim the clothing on the character. I think just the trousers and the coat. I don't think we need to sim the scarf. We kind of actually get away with it surprisingly well. Especially since the box is kind of covering everything. And then we need to sim the curtains. The curtains should be relatively pain-free. But what I'm wondering is it better for me to... like, is it better for me to do the groom on the character and then use that as kind of a reference, like, kind of scale, and then do the curtains? Or am I better just to do the curtains and then kind of bend the fur to it? I'm not entirely sure which, to be honest. I also need to pick what look I want to go for. In fact, actually, there's 4 people watching at the moment, or 3 people watching. It's like 4 was a good number, now we're at 3. But yeah, I need to find some ref. I'm thinking there's a creature in Zootopia. He's like the alpaca or the llama at the yoga place. Is it alpaca? Alpaca. Or is it a yak? Or I can't remember what he is. It's probably a yak actually. See if I can find a good... what was his name? Yaks. Zootopia Yaks. Let me bring this on the screen. I think for the body fur, something like this could be interesting. Granted, I want to push it a bit further than this because this is it's raw appeal, but it's not technically that good of a groom. Like, it's beautiful, but there's a lot of issues in my mind. Like, a lot of these shapes don't really make sense. The hair's individually a bit too thick. This is a bit too loose of a clump. It doesn't really feel matted. It just feels cool in general. This is a bit better, so maybe this is the actual thing. No, it's a fan art. Yeah, like, it looks good, but there's something missing. But he's a good, kind of interesting ref. I do quite like this fan art. It's not, again, there's a lot of issues with this as well. This hair is too slick compared to this hair. There's too much of a difference there. But see if we can find a good... ooh! That's cool. Okay, so maybe there's an actual yak. Let's not abstract it. Let's go for a real creature. Yak fur. Should I search matted? It's always the worst thing to add to a Google because it normally gives you like mistreated animals. In this case, it just returns what we were just looking at. These are kind of cool though. Also, the groom for this scene is going to be so fucking heavy. Like, I am not looking forward to how heavy this scene's going to be when I finish grooming. Oh, it's going to be bad. I also need to decide if I'm grooming in pose or not. Because if I want to do alternative poses, the one thing I was thinking is I kind of like the idea of making like a nice version of this, because I actually quite like the composition of this. Like, I think it's quite interesting. It's kind of cool just having him like having a little campfire with this like otherworldly monster. Once this has got the fur and like the final textures and, you know, whatever glow effects I decide to do, I think this could look really cool. So is it a case of groom it in pose and then kind of hack it into this position because it is just a one-off render, or do I groom it in T-pose and actually set up a proper kind of moving it through on a rigged character, which I'm sure a lot of people would want to see. but it gives a lot more opportunity for shit to break, and I kind of already got enough of shit breaking. So I'm not entirely sure how to go about that stuff yet. I think, let me just quickly add the hair in there. I'm not talking like the actual groom, I'm talking grabbing the polygon hair that we did. I'm not attaching it to the rig, it's way too heavy. Why is it locked? You okay, Beck?
Yes,
Okay. I think I've been streaming like 15 minutes or so. Actually, how heavy is this? It's 200,000 polygons. It's not really light enough to just attach to the rig, is it? Wait, does this have to come down? Have I been having the hair too low this whole time, or too high this whole time? I think I have. Mildly infuriating. Modify. No, I don't think I have actually. Modify freeze transforms, and let's just parent that to the hat. Parent child. Constrain parent. Did you not freeze? Modify freeze transformations. Are you set to no? Parent child, constrain parent. What the fuck? Okay. Oh, did I turn off the maintain offset? I did. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Constrain point. Is there a maintain offset for point constraints? Yep, there is. I can't wrap deform it, can I? I mean, if it's not, is this going to be the most pointlessly heavy wrap deformer I ever make? Deform, wrap. Oh god, that's hideous. Yeah, no, it's too heavy. I can't do that. Give that a moment to do its thing. Okay. I guess I just have to move it into place. Shading, no, show, selection highlight. That'll do. It's probably a bit off, but let's give that a go. And then, did you still have frozen transformations earlier? I think it did. Good. Save my scene. Okay, I think this is a good place to end it because we've weight painted everything, we've got a rig working, everything is now at a point where we can start either simulation or final model tweaks or grooming next week. So I'll probably end up going for simulation because I kind of want grooming to be like one of the last processes I do because I really enjoy it, and that will mean that I can kind of push through whatever burnout I'm about to go through, because I can imagine I'm going to hit burnout fairly soon. I don't feel like I am, but I just have that suspicion it's going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream. Oh, Ian literally just joined. Hey Ian, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm literally about to end the stream. Sorry, mate. But yeah, so I can imagine I'll probably burn out in the next 2 or 3 sessions, so I need to make sure that I kind of get to groom at that point so that when I finish grooming I can kind of put the project down. I could always just kind of leave the project for a bit and come back to it, but I kind of want to avoid doing that because I don't know how quickly or easily I'll come back to it. So yeah, in the next session we'll probably do either final rig tweaks or some basic cloth sim, probably do the curtains on the box just because that's going to be the easiest one to do. And yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope I've not been too incompetent. We had a lot of crashes at the beginning and a lot of incompetence, but it's part of being a 3D artist sometimes. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the evening, guys, and I'll hopefully see you on Saturday. Bye bye.